Much. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. Your reaction this morning to this overnight move from the president halting these subsidies to insurance companies.
Good morning, John and Poppy. This move, it feels like a hostage negotiation with the president tweeting out, Democrats call me, as he continues to hurt low-income patients. And also, if insurers pull out of the marketplaces, John, the Kaiser Family Foundation estimates that premiums could go up as high as 19% for all of us. So this is, he's acting, I think, erratic. We've read reports in the Washington Post and Vanity Fair that he's becoming more and more unstable. I hope his advisors can talk to him and tell him this is hurting real people, and you shouldn't be so spiteful, and come to the table and let's put the fixes in place that are needed, but don't do it this way.
So, Congressman, as you well know, a federal district judge in Washington, D.C. last year, in May of last year, ruled that these payments were illegal because Congress never appropriated the money. The president's been talking about this, threatening this for a long time. Yeah. So, I mean, this has not been determined to be legal on any front.
Yeah, Poppy, we should appropriate the money. That's something we can do in Congress if we did it in a bipartisan way. We're making progress in the Senate with Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray negotiating over how to make these fixes. And of course, when the Graham-Cassidy bill came forward, that halted that. We still have an opportunity to go back and put that funding in place, but it has to be done in a bipartisan way. I don't think the president going after his own party is helpful either. He's alienating them, and I think affecting the ability of both Democrats and Republicans to sort this out together.
You do acknowledge the court did say it wasn't legal, correct? He's
without congressional appropriations is in
okay.
Federal
right.
court. Yeah.
So he's stopping something which the court has determined not to be legal. There is this negotiation in the Senate between Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray to make these payments. The concessions from the Democrats would be some more state flexibility to meet Obamacare standards. So what would that mean? What would you be willing to give up in terms of Obamacare standards in order to get these subsidies?
Well, the standards of providing essential health benefits is not something that I think we want to give up. That's, routine checkups, maternity care, things that people rely on. And if you have these skinnier plans that he wants skimpier plans that he wants people to have, it's ultimately just going to cost all of us more. What we are willing to negotiate, I believe, would be, increasing the risk corridors in the high-risk pools. That's something that I think Republicans and Democrats agree on. And so, but come to the table. And also on that court case that you've talked about, that's not been completely, resolved. That was a district court case. There's a
but they're
process.
No, you're right. I mean, they're giving the government the chance to appeal it to a higher court. The issue is that the Trump administration is not going to appeal it in the way the Obama administration did. Let's get you on what the president has announced this morning on the nuclear agreement. He will talk about it out loud in a few hours, but we have a long list of descriptions from the White House on this one. This is not, no matter what he says this morning, this is not throwing out the nuclear deal. This is decertifying it. It's punting it back to you guys. And you guys have to decide in 60 days, do we put sanctions on Iran or not, effectively nullifying the deal. Are you encouraged that the president didn't rip this thing up?
I don't want to see him throw out the deal. I also think that it's not helpful to create more uncertainty around the deal while, suggesting that, he's going to stop certifying or that, we would impose more sanctions. More sanctions on the nuclear side would threaten to blow up the deal and have Iran walk away. Remember, we took a nuclear threat out of the world. Now we only have to deal with North Korea as far as a true adversary that could go after us. So why would we want to do anything that would jeopardize adding a new nuclear threat? And I think the president is playing a very, very risky game here with what he's doing.
Can I ask you a question about California politics since we have you right now?
Yes.
See,
I'm a California politician. Yeah.
An uncomfortable laugh right there.
That is a fact.
He knows what's coming. So CNN learned yesterday that Dianne Feinstein is going to have a challenger in the Senate race next year. The Democratic state Senate president, Kevin DeLeon, is going to run against Dianne Feinstein. Will you support the incumbent senator in this election?
She hasn't asked me yet, John. I hope she does, because I would support her. I think she's done a terrific job, not just as the intelligence chair, someone who worked, through a lot of our national security issues, but on gun violence. We were reminded just a few weeks ago in Las Vegas that because we have made it easier for people to have firearms, we are more vulnerable to these types of shootings. This has been something she's been fighting for since she became mayor. When the mayor of San Francisco was killed by gun violence,
Right.
she passed the assault weapons ban, which expired. I think we still need her fighting for us in the Senate.
Thank you very. I guess that rules out a run for you, right?
That rules out a run for me, but she should call me.
All right.
I would happily help.
We can set this call up, Congressman. Thanks very
there you
much.
go.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it.